Good evening, everyone. Firstly, before I start, just want to wish all of you a happy new year and all the best for the year that lies ahead. It's exciting to obviously be on the first call of the year and into a brand new year, 2023. And it's always a very exciting time of the year because I know a lot of you have set some goals for the year, or perhaps you're not really that chuffed with your December month you had. I know for me, I was a little bit disappointed, to be honest with you, with the volume in December. And I think very often what happens in our business is such a good thing because your business sort of dictates what you need to do. If your volume's down, you got to ask yourself, why is the volume down? And I was thinking about this yesterday. If you've got a game lodge as an example, and your attendance, people are not showing up, and they're not booking in, and they're not there are no new guests coming. There's something you got to explore and say, wow, am I doing enough promotion? What's our marketing like? What's our customer service like? So I think very often what happens in our business is the fact that it very often will dictate what's happening in your business, what's happening with your volume, dictates what you need to do. And I think very often we can all rest on our laurels and we can become very much in a management zone. And I remember one of my mentors once said to me, he said, the most important thing you got to do is spend 80% of your time doing the things that matter, the things that grow your business. And I think very often what happens is we can go into a management mode of our business where, we're waiting for someone in our business to do something. And for me this evening, the topic of, the 10 qualities of a network marketing professional, it's really about you stepping up as the leader and being the one that a team wants to follow and duplicate what you do. And, for me, I'm going into my 15th year of being part of Mannatech. In May, it would be 15 years ago that I signed up with Mannatech. So I've been doing this for quite some time. I'm obviously not a novice regarding the industry and regarding the profession, but I guess constantly you're learning about what to do and what you can do better. And I've once again just realized that, it's going back to basics. For me, 2023, 15 years into it, I guess for me is all about, going back to basics. What are the things we did in the beginning to get groups going? What are the things that I personally did in the beginning, to grow my business? And I think that's something that all of us need to consider, is that are we doing what is required of us to grow our organization, to grow our volume? Because if Mannatech's going to be the thing that you want to do, the thing that can set you and your family free, or whether whatever, if this is what you're seeing as a vehicle for you, are you really doing what it takes to make it happen? And I'm just relating it to, studying a degree, or, working a conventional business, or, having your own small business. It does take time and effort, and you're going to go through good times, you're going to go through bad times, but you have to persevere, and you've got to constantly remind yourself about, why do I do what I do? Why am I so passionate about it? I'll tell you why am I so passionate about Mannatech 15 years later? Because number one, it's given me so many things in my life that I could never have imagined having. And I don't want to talk about, from just a monetary point of view, but from a lifestyle point of view, from the difference we've been able to make in so many people's lives. The world is a better place because of all of us on this call. You're going out there and sharing the product with people, the testimonials that we've gotten over the years. What you do matters. What you do leaves the world a better place. The amount of people we've helped to go free financially and go presidential and beyond, it's been an incredible 15 years. And I look forward to the next 5 and 10 and 15 years. And of course, it is going to be important that all of us, figure out, what are we going to do, and are we going to step up to the next level? And for me, this year is about stepping up, and it's about going back to the basics. So I want to just go straight into the presentation, and I hope all of you can hear me okay. I've in fact got load shedding here, so I'm on my 3G or 4G or 5G. So I hope everything is coming out clearly, and my sound's okay and my video's okay. But I'm going to go into the presentation, and you should be seeing my slideshow. Okay, so there we go. So this evening we're talking about the 10 core qualities of a network marketing professional. And, I thought about this, for the last 3 or 4 days, what are the 10 things that people do? And I've gone through and I've done research, and I was looking over there, I've got about, that's the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 12 books just on books that I've collected over the years, whether it be your first year network marketing, whether it be, how to build a, network marketing business, Wave 4. I mean, there's so many old books that I've gone through. And I guess the reality about it is that if you're on the call this evening, you already know a lot of these things. And I think what we constantly need is to be reminded about, what, you constantly need to be reminded. I'm constantly reminded about a lot of these things as well. So I want to just run through these briefly. I just want to see if I see there are some comments in the box over here just before I start, just to see if everything's fine. Okay, so everyone can hear me. Okay, perfect. Okay, great. So we'll get right into it. I don't want to make it a long presentation, so hopefully we can finish on time. And that is to get this done within 20-30 minutes. So for me, it's really more than being core yourself, but creating a culture where the core qualities become the standard practice in your team. Do you know what? There have been times in Mannatech where I haven't been completely core. There have been times when I've been very core. And what I just once again realized was that no one has ever failed and no one has ever not succeeded that's worked the program. In my 15 years that I've been around, that seldomly has someone failed that's worked the program. And I'm not talking about someone that's attending a conference or attending an event or listening to the toms. I'm talking about someone that's actually working the program, someone that is doing the plan, someone that is showing up, someone that's on the webinar, and here's something for me just on that point. I think very often for me personally, I'll be honest with you, because this is an honest conversation I want to have with all of you on the call here, is I've always tried to think maybe I must do my own thing or do my own special thing for the group, or, and I've once again just realized, chatting to Leonie yesterday, that why do we want to go and create more work for ourselves? There's already been a system that's been set up. That system allowed me to become $1 million earner. That system allowed Louis and Leonie to create multiple, 2 or 3 platinums, but created massive amounts of gold presidentials, silver presidentials, bronzes, and PDs. I mean, just in my own organization, what are we, 30-40% presidential? So this system does work. So for me, the big thing, it's about creating a culture where we are becoming core. And you got to ask yourself, because only you'll know this. I mean, it's not for your upline to check, are you really core? Or are you, for me, my philosophy for 2023 and for this year is going to be, I'm not going to worry so much about whether people are showing up or not, because I think my expectations of people can sometimes be so high that I'm always constantly setting myself up to be disappointed. And maybe you feel similar to that. So for me, my focus is I'm going to work the hardest I can to be core myself and go out there and teach people that are core themselves. And those are the people I'm going to work with, because so often I've tried to help people because they've got potential, that they know a lot of people. But you know what? Unless they're core, I'm wasting my time. It's like I'm kicking the bucket further down the road. For me, I'd rather work with 4 people in my whole group that are core and know that they're going to be able to duplicate that, because we're all in the same team and we're all creating a culture where that is the standard practice for people to be core. So you got to ask yourself, if using this as your vehicle to set yourself up, to pay off your debt, to qualify for an incentive, to become financially independent, whatever it may be, if this is your vehicle, become core. Because seldomly has anyone failed that's worked the program. So work the program. I mean, this is not just me saying this. There's 13, 14, 15 different books that I have read over the last week or two that all say the same thing. So, for me, step up, become core, and let that become the culture of your organization, people being core. I think my electricity has just gone back on. So, which is great. So hopefully the lighting is a bit better. So I am still on my hotspot, but we'll just continue like that. So okay. So the first one is to be a product of your product. Being a product of your product. First of all, if I'm selling, let's assume that I'm a personal trainer and I'm not in shape, like I don't look fast. How can I expect to be getting clients on board? If my wife walks into a Virgin Active as an example, is she going to go and train with a personal trainer that looks in shape? Or is she gonna train with a personal trainer that doesn't look in shape? I mean, you got to ask yourself this. If someone's a dietitian, are you gonna go to the dietitian that's in that lives the part of being healthy, or the one that doesn't? But yeah, they might have the degree and know about food nutrition and so forth. So for me, the first thing is become a product of your product. Yes, you got to use the Mannatech products, and we've got phenomenal products. But for me, it's really about stepping up in everything. One of the leaders once said to me, how you do something is how you do everything. So for me this year, it's about living the brand, like living the brand of wellness, living the brand of health, So for me, become a product of your product, and what you can take whatever you want from that for yourself. But for me, I'm telling you now, if you want to make a success, you're going to make a way better success if you are a product of your product. So the next thing is never buy competing products. I had my wife throw us products here out of the house because I said, yes, Mannatech doesn't make certain of the products, but why are we spending money on other supplements if we can buy from our own store online? Because, your products that you have, your Mannatech, that's your business, puts money and volume in your business. So why would you support any other company? Yes, I understand, like, Mannatech might not make a magnesium, or they might not make a specific product that you need, or, but for me, overall, be a product of your product. Use the skincare, make sure you use all your products. So, your products is really where the volume comes from. So I would encourage you to be a product of your product. Next thing is order ships are non-negotiable. There's 20% lying in loyalty points in your order ships for you personally. On top of that, you got your power seller bonus of 10, 15, 20%. So you personally on your order ship could be getting back between 30, 35, and 40% back on your own order in cash and loyalty points. So for me, it's not negotiable not to be on automatic order. The next thing is talk knowledgeable, enthusiastically about your products. So how do you become knowledgeable, enthusiastic about them? What stops you from going on manipol.com and going and once a week going through a specific product that Dr. Nugent does so you can become informed about that specific product? There's nothing that stops you doing that. If you're a professional at what you do, that's what you do. If you were a dentist and there's a new technology coming out that you need to know about, you are going to study that. You're going to know that so you can share that with your clients. If there's a new pharmaceutical coming out and you're a doctor, you're going to have to go and study that and know what that does and which patients need to get that product. So it's no different in our business, is that you got to know your products. So become knowledgeable about them and become enthusiastic about them so you can enthusiastically share that with other people. The second one, develop a customer group. Now, our business is driven by volume. There's no doubt about that. Our business is not just about business builders. But, when I look over December and January, this time of the year, is unfortunately what happens is you've got customers that move their orders out. They move their orders toward, to January or to February because they're away. So, of course, your volume is going to drop in your organization. And that's why it's so important to make sure that your volume doesn't drop that much because you've got enough business builders involved. And all your business builders are at least still doing their 500 points or their 1,000 points that they have. So, your core focus as a leader is to work towards, getting at least 10 or more customers, which is 1,000 PV. Some leaders in the group are doing 2,000 PV. Think of customers that can benefit from your products. Think about people you've met over the December holiday that can benefit from the product, whether it be the skincare, the fat loss, having more energy with vitamins and minerals. So think about people that you, had conversations with in December and share with them. Say, mention to them. Say, listen, by the way, I didn't share with you what I was all involved, what I'm busy with. But by the way, I'm looking for a couple of customers that want to try a new product that we're launching. Or, by the way, we've just launched a new program, or we've just brought out a new product, or, oh, by the way, are you familiar with Ambritose? Or I forgot to mention to you about this incredible product called Catalyst. So for me, it's just about enthusiastically getting the conversation going with people. So the next thing is, and all of us need to work harder on this, is service and develop the group. Service and develop the customers. Your customers are your lifeblood of your organization. Think about, as an analogy, we were speaking earlier about a game lodge. So let's assume that you go to the game lodge. And, what is so important is service. It's so important for them, the ratings that they get on booking.com, the ratings they get, the reviews they get, that customer service is really everything. So I want to encourage you to make sure that your service, that your customer service is impeccable. Make sure that you follow up with customers. Make sure how they're doing. If they've got loyalty points, that was what I was doing this week, is actually contacting lots of my customers and some of my associates that have got loyalty points and letting them know, by the way, you've got 3,000 of the loyalty points. Are you familiar with this product? Would you like to try OSP? Would you like to add something with? Make sure that you get them to try products that they're not using already. So that for me is so important, is develop a customer group. That's step 2 or point 2. Point 3, follow the system. Now, when I say Lone Rangers, like, I think a lot of you can relate to this. How many of us in the past have seen leaders that grow the business, or not even, I don't want to call them leaders, I've seen associates join that grow the business very, very quickly initially. In fact, they quickly go Club 1000, they quickly maybe even do Team 4, go executive, go silver executive, go gold executive. But what ends up happening is they don't enjoy long-term success because they never plugged into the system. So very often we can get so excited about this new person, this new momentum in your organization, and all of a sudden, there's a rush of volume in your organization. I've had this conversation with the leaders on this call here this evening where, someone gets involved without, and you can do this without plugging the system. You can grow some volume. You can, you can get some people on board. You can create some excitement. You can qualify for an incentive. But I've never seen someone enjoy long-term success, go silver presidential, gold presidential, platinum presidential, that don't plug into the system. And this is, for me, the key thing is follow the system. There's a system that's been proven. It's a step-by-step duplicatable system that you and your team must duplicate. For me, it's not a pick and choose buffet. It's like you have to have everything. It's like there's a starter, there's a main course, there's dessert. It's like, unfortunately, you have to eat it all. There's no like, I'm only going to have the starter, I'm not going to have the dessert, or I'm only going to have main course. You have to have everything, unfortunately. You are not always going to be, enjoy every single part of it. But unfortunately, that's the system, is that you're never going to enjoy everything that you do. Think about someone working a corporate job. You think they enjoy every single thing that they do? Think about anything in your life, whether you be a rugby player. Do you think that you enjoy everything about being a rugby player? All the practices, traveling, being away from home, what the press say about you. Every single thing in life has got ups and downs, so there's good and bad. I think it's important for us to realize that as well with network marketing. Yes, there are going to be times when you're going to miss an event, or you're going to miss something, in the sense of, maybe a birthday or whatever. But for me, the reality about it is, if this is your vehicle, then you've got to ask yourself, is my goals aligned with, and am I doing what I'm doing, is that aligned with what my goals are? Am I congruent? So the system has been created from experience. We all know that what works and what doesn't. When you follow the system, you get the resource of your entire upline. When people want to do their own thing and be a lone ranger, they don't get that. For me, I've seen this happen so many times. When people try and do their own thing, they try and do it better, it becomes very ego driven, and people don't make a success. And even I've done that at times. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I've tried at times to do my own thing, or try and, because I feel I can do it better. But I'm telling you now, for long-term success, that doesn't work. You have to plug into what is happening there already, because that is the past success that we've had has come from that system. And yes, and constantly we're changing things and we're tweaking things. But if you're unsure, you never ever change it. And I say, don't send a message that it's okay to do your own thing, because it's not. If you think it's okay to do your own thing, you give permission to your entire downline to do their own thing as well. Because here's the reality is, if I do my own thing, what do? I give all my leaders the permission to do their own thing as well, which means that all their leaders now have permission to do their own thing. And where does it end? Everyone's marching in their own direction. The fourth point is attend all events. Now, our business is built from event to event. Now, something that I've just realized today, once again, is that opportunity meetings is where we create momentum. That's where I created my initial momentum when I just started Mannatech 15 years ago. That's where I've seen businesses of thousands of people grow, is from opportunity meetings. And that's where the magic happens. When you put people in a room together, they're all excited, sharing from the heart, sharing their story. There's just some sort of excitement and enthusiasm and authenticity and social proof that gets created that you can't duplicate online. Now, it's great to do online meetings. I was thinking, I was chatting to Leonie yesterday, yeah, but maybe once a month I should do my own online meeting just for my group. But what am I doing once again? I'm not plugging into the system. I'm trying to, I'm trying to, I'm trying to put too much on my hay on my fork. For me, there's already the UAE meeting. There's already the South African meeting that's taking place. Let's all just plug everyone in there. It makes it a system and makes it easier for you that you don't have to carry on doing that. So whether you're here or not, it still carries on. Now, if there's an opportunity meeting that's held in your area, you've got to be there. If you live an hour away, be at the opportunity meeting. It's not negotiable, because I drove, an hour, 2 hours, opportunity meetings for people. I mean, my first meeting I ever went to was a 50-minute drive. And that's where it started for me. So if you, and here's the thing is, don't be the leader that says, yeah, but I don't have people coming to the meeting, so I'm not going to go to the opportunity meeting. You still go to the opportunity meeting, because if everyone had that attitude, no one will be at the meeting. Because that new person, or that next leader is going to say, well, I haven't got someone, so then he's not going to come. And that next leader, he's got to say, oh, but I haven't got someone, and then there's no one showing up at the function. So if there's an opportunity meeting in the area, you show up at the opportunity meeting, no excuses. It's once every 2 weeks. You've got to do 2 opportunity meetings in any way. So make sure you get to those live opportunity meetings that are taking place. And here's something that I'm going to be bold about. If there's not one in your area, why don't you start one? Why don't you be the leader that starts an opportunity meeting in your area? When I was a director in Mannatech, there was no meeting in Cape Town. I started my own meeting as a director. So, probably one of the reasons why, I know that to make a success in this, you have to start doing your own meetings. If you're a leader on this call and you're an executive director, not being able to show your own plan or being able to do your own opportunity meeting, man, you're missing the point. You are missing the opportunity for massive growth in your business. You have to become very good at showing the plan, or at least, at least know a little bit about showing the plan, but at least become competent in showing the plan, because that is your business. It would be like, starting your own little home-based business. Let's assume, and you are in marketing, and you're marketing a new product in maybe it's let's make it an easy example. It's a laundromat that you're starting, but you didn't buy any washing powder, or you don't know how the washing machines work, because or you don't know to put the white clothes and the colored clothes separately. Like, as an example, this is a stupid example, but that's the reality, is that if you don't know how to show the plan, if you don't know how you earn commission, if you don't know your product, you are like the person that's just bought a brand new laundry, but you don't know anything that's going on. And you're expecting and at least a manager, you've got an upline that can help you, but in a normal business, you don't have that. So you have to make sure that you step up. So if there's not a meeting in your area, start one. There's no reason why you as executive director can't start your own meeting and start hosting your own home meetings. The next thing is, major functions is really the glue that holds this whole thing together. It keeps all of us focused. So I want to encourage you, make sure that you are at the major functions. I mean, these are events that keep you focused. The people that don't attend are not going to be around long term. The biggest challenge is that the new people don't understand the importance of events. And I want to talk a little bit about that, because, sorry, excuse me. So here we go. Sorry. So, here's the thing is, with new people, they don't know the importance of attending events. So we have to share the story. We have to share with them the importance of being there. And yes, people aren't going to show up. And that's what upsets a lot of us so much, is that we want it so badly for other people to succeed that we get upset when they, and for me, the thing is, I don't want to be that leader anymore that waits outside, is this person going to pitch? Is that person going to pitch? This person said they're going to be there. Do you know what? In life, I think all of us in this business, do everything you can, but expect nothing in return. No one owes you anything. Like, at the end of the day, for me, the only thing I can control is me being at the function and making sure that I invite as many people as possible, and then working with the people that show up. But long term, if people aren't at functions, I mean, we all know they're not going to make it. I mean, I don't even have to. I mean, it's like, here's the reality: no one's ever made it that doesn't go to function and kept a sustainable business. No one. So don't think it, that someone else is going to be the first person to do it. Like, that doesn't happen that way. The fifth point, be a student of the profession. So if you want to build your business fast, it requires teachability and a willingness to be coached. I mean, for me, what is important is, once again, being a student of the profession is not only knowing your product really well, knowing your company really well, but realizing that, that you can't bring traditional business ideas and sales and being good at sales really don't work in the business. So I don't think that someone who's good at sales is going to be doing well at network marketing, and don't think that people who are good at a traditional business are going to be good at network marketing. This is a whole different type of business. And make a conscious effort to learn all you can about the profession as a whole. Become excited about network marketing. I mean, I was looking at a book I've got there called Your Future Choice, The New Professionals. I mean, all these old books about network marketing as the future. I mean, it's an industry that's given so many people the opportunity to earn extra income, to diversify the income, to be able to bring their wife home from work, to be able to, pay off their bond or, get out of debt. This is an industry that changes people's lives so much. So I want to encourage you, if that is the industry you're choosing for yourself, become passionate about it, become a student of it, understand why this is a better way. The sixth point, be accountable. If something seems questionable, don't do it. And I must say, very often you think about, should I do this? Should I do that? And if it's questionable, don't do it, or check with your upline. If you're not sure about something, always check with your active working upline. I'm talking about someone as an upline that's in the system, not someone that's above you in the structure, and they might be the person who signed you up or the person who helped you in the beginning. If they are not core and they're not in the system and they're not counseling, then I don't know why you are checking in with them as your leader that's going to mentor you to the next level. Like, make sure that you are checking in with your active working upline. So active working upline is someone that's actively working the program of, that we've set up in South Africa, the 3-point plan, the 4 basics, the 3 pillars that we speak about in the 3-point plan. So the next thing is, we're in a business of relationships and building trust. I mean, that's what this business is all about. It's about building relationships with people. I guess trust is such an important thing, because without trust, you've got nothing. So, but how do you build trust? Is about doing what you say you're going to do. If you say you're going to be at the super regionals, be at the super regionals. Don't have excuses. Like, I mean, to earn and maintain trust takes accountability. I mean, it takes being authentic. What's authentic is doing what you say you're going to do. That's accountability. Being real. So, do what you say you will do. If you say you're going to help someone, help them. If you say you're going to do a home meeting for someone, do the home meeting for them. If you say you're going to be on the toms, be on the toms. Do what you say you're going to do, because, otherwise we're all going to kick the bucket further down the road. We're not actually going to do what we need to do to build the business. And that is to get people core, get them to events, break leaders, get new directors, and duplicate. So, and the other thing is, of course, be there on time. Don't be showing up there when the function's starting at 9. Don't be showing up there at 9:15 or arriving at 9. It starts at 9 o'clock. So, as an example now. 7th thing is practice edification. Edify the sponsorship line. So who's that? That's your active working upline. Edify the products, edify the company. Here's the reality. No company is perfect. The perfect company is the one at Jern. I mean, that's Mannatech. I've seen so many people say, oh no, but this company's better, that company's better, then they got a business. Or this company. Do you know what? All I know is Mannatech's almost 30 years old. We've got amazing products. All of you have seen what these products do for people. I spoke to someone on Saturday that's been using the Mannatech products, and they said to me, they cannot believe what a difference this product has made for them. And they were building the business many years ago. They're not actively building the business anymore. But they were just saying to me, it's amazing what these products have done for their health and their wellness, and they'll never stop taking the product. I mean, here's the thing, is that Mannatech's not perfect, but you know what? We've got Ambrosos, and we've got products that change people's lives, and we've got a great comp plan, and we've got a company that's going to be around. So for me, that means a lot. Don't be ego driven. and when I talk about ego driven is where people make it about themselves. Your sponsor gives you credibility. So your sponsor is your active working upline. So why? You can't edify yourself. I mean, imagine how silly it would be if I was doing a home meeting and I'm edifying myself about how, you need an active working upline to do that. Or you need someone in your downline to edify you if you're doing the opportunity meeting. So practice edification constantly of the company, the product, and obviously your sponsorship line. Here's something for me that I'm getting very excited about, obviously, and that's to commit to weekly exposures. I mean, our business is about sharing with new people. That's where the new leaders come from. That's where the new ranks come from. That's where the new growth comes from. So all of us know you can't control the enrollments, but you can control how many people you offer a chance to look at what we do. You can't control how many customers you're going to sign up. You can't control how many associates you're going to sign up. But what you can control is how many people you share the information with. How many people you ask, are you open to have a look at what we do? That's what you can control. So commit to offering a certain number of people to look at the opportunity. That might be 5 people a week. That might be 10 people a week, or 20, whatever. But you know what? 2 people a week is better than nothing. But get a number of people that you want to expose the information to on a weekly basis. And you know what? I know what it's like. In the beginning of the year, you're thinking, oh, well, I'm going to contact 50 people a week for every single week for the rest of the year. But you know what? That's not duplicatable. And number 2, you definitely not going to do that. Yeah, you might do it for 1 week, but you're not going to be able to do it for week 2, week 3, week 4, and you're not going to be able to maintain that. So I want you to think about this evening, or as you start launching into the year, but what is the number that without a question of a doubt, I know that every single week, no matter what happens, I will at least be able to do that number. And maybe that's 5 people. And I think, you know what? 5 people is great. If you can do 10, even better. But if it's 2, it's better than nothing. So 2 people is an extra 8 to 10 people a month that you're contacting. You might sign up 1 or 2 or 3 of those people a month. So don't get these elaborate goals of saying, I want to do these incredible things. And I can sometimes do that. It's like, oh, I'm going to contact 50 people a week. Yeah, I will do it for the first week and maybe for the second week. But then I'm going to run out of wind, and I'm not going to be able to carry on doing that. So that's why it's much easier to say, you know what I can commit to without a doubt, every single week is at least 10 people. I know personally I can do that. Well, I mean, I can do 20, but I mean, maybe some weeks, but you want to think about the amount, the minimum amount that at least with, no matter what happens, is that every week you'll be able to do that. Doesn't matter where you are, whether you're traveling, whether you're overseas, whether you're on holiday, that every week you can do that amount. I mean, 5 to 10 people a week. One of my mentors once said to me, 2 people a day brings freedom my way. So what is that? 10 people a week. Maybe you choose Tuesday, 5 people, Wednesday, 5 people. Those are your 2 contacting days. And those are the days you reach out. But the key thing is you have to, if you plan to fail, you fail to plan. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So how do I do that? Well, probably if I wanted to do that consistently for the next 6 months, is to write down going forward, next week, Tuesday, and I'm contacting these 5 people, Wednesday, these 5 people. The week after, these people, Tuesday, these 5 people, Wednesday, these 5 people. The week after. If it's in your diary, you've got a much better chance of doing it than thinking, oh, here's a piece of paper, I'm going to contact that person. The thing where we mess up the most is not with our goals or, our desire to make a success. It's in our planning. It's going to take you, an hour or 2 or 5, but it'll probably be the best 5 hours you've ever spent if you could actually sit down and say, you know what? I'm going to work on my names list, and my goal is going to be to talk to, just to make the numbers easy, it's going to be to talk to 20 people a month, which is 5 people a week. And I'm going to do that for 10 months of the year. So February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So that's 10 months. How am I going to go about doing that? Well, if I'm going to talk to 20 people a month, I need at least 200 names. Okay, well, let's start on the names list. Once I get to the 200 names, what do I do now? I take the 200 names and I go in my diary and I actually start writing them down. And I say, okay, next week, Tuesday, these are the 5 people. Wednesday, these are the 5 people. The week after, these are the 5 people. These are the 5 people. The week after, these are the 5 people. What now? What are you doing? You are creating your future. You're creating your own success plan by doing that. And that's such a silly thing to do. Like, or not a silly thing to do, but it's so easy. What did I say? The things that are easy to do are also easy not to do it because we think, oh, it's going to be so maklik. It can't be that easy to do. But I'm telling you, that is how you build a dynasty. That's how you build a platinum ship. That's how you build a 2-star platinum ship. That's how people go double platinum. Well, it's not called double platinum anymore, but that's how people, change thousands and thousands of people's lives is by in their daily actions that they do. That's what creates momentum. So you can't control the enrollments, but you can control how many people you offer a chance to look at it. And we will actually, in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to do another one of these calls. We're going to talk then specific about getting started, and we can cover through some of these points. The next thing is, as I mentioned, commit to offering a certain number of people to look at the opportunity. If you want to get massive growth and momentum in your business, you need business builders. It's not going to happen just getting customers on board. You need business builders. So look for people you can offer the opportunity to. And I would say that should be your minimum amount of people for opportunity. And once you've done that, yes, then go look for some customers you can share the product with. But by offering the opportunity, you will find customers by default. Engage to see if there's serious interest, and with those that there's a serious interest with, those are the people you should go and do the follow-ups with, show the plan to, get to know them, build the trust, get them into the system, and then of course, duplicate the process. Step 9, spend time on self-development daily. A fundamental truth is your business will only grow as fast as you do. I very often I've thought about it, when did my business grow the fastest? And that's when I was working harder on myself and on my business. I mean, really, that's what's going to keep you excited, is you becoming a better person, because by becoming a better person, by default, you are going to be able to help more people. So what is your program for self-development? Are you reading the Toms? I got my Toms yesterday. Skill with people. How can this book not help you become better at dealing with people? How to become a better listener? How to smile when you're speaking to people and when you first meet them? How to, how to have crucial conversations with people. Was one of the other books. The art of dealing with people. We're in a business of people. Our business is not just Mannatech products, it's people. So if I can become better at working with people, of course I can become better at building the business, because it's a people business. You don't lead products, you lead people. No type of Ambertoes has ever sponsored another type of Ambertoes. That happens with people. So become a better version of yourself. Develop new skills as your business progresses. That might be become a better speaker. That might be become better at contacting and inviting, or showing the plan, or following up with people. And I just said, initially it's the full basics, but later it's about duplication and leadership. All of us need to know how to do the full basics. That's non-negotiable. But as your business grows, it's about duplication and it's about leadership. But here's the reality, is that if you can't do the full basics, how can you duplicate that? And I'll never forget my father saying to me, we've got a stud farm with horses. And, I remember my dad saying to me, he can't help the guys on the farm. If he doesn't know how to, mop stables and things like that, how can he teach the guys on the farm how to do that, or see if they're not doing it properly if he can't do it himself? So that's why it's important. It's exactly the same thing. If you can't do the full basics, how can you teach someone to do that? How are you going to know how to get someone to the next level if they're struggling with contacting and writing, if you don't know personally how to do that? So for me, it starts with you. It starts with you doing the full basics really, really extremely well. And if you do that, by default, you're going to start growing a team. And then it becomes about the duplication and of course, the leadership. Set a time for personal development every single day, whether it's 20 minutes. I'm telling you now, that is how people, I'm telling you now, that is how people change so much that you won't even recognize them if you see them a year or two later. And I've seen this personally so many times, where I can't believe how much people can change. I was talking to a good friend of mine from Australia today, and we were talking about another friend of ours, and we were just saying, we can't believe how much he's changed over the last 5 to 10 years. He's like a different person. The way he deals with people, his knowledge on business, it's just amazing. And I think that's so exciting that you can become better. You can become a better version of yourself. I just said, that mornings are better if possible. I think it's because it's the start of the day, and if you can get your mindset right, it just makes it so much easier. But the thing that moves the needle in your business is contacting people. So if you're in a good frame of mind, it's going to become much easier to contact someone compared to if you're not. So get yourself into the right mindset. That might be to make sure you exercise in the morning. That always gets people in a good frame of mind. Eating healthy. Praying, meditating. I mean, but mornings are always better if possible. If it's not possible, then maybe on the way to work, or if you're driving. I mean, that always helps. I mean, I was at the waterfront today, and on the way back, I was listening to audio in my vehicle, or a podcast. And I think that's also something that's very, very convenient. Then just quickly, on the 10th point is do the right thing. And that is to tell the truth, and to do what you say you're going to do. I think sometimes it can be, sometimes you think it's not such a big thing when you, when you say you're going to do something, you don't do it, but it's really everything. Because, it's like someone says, I said to someone the other day, it's like, you can lie about things, or you can not be truthful about things, but the problem is that you still know that. So I think that's the hardest thing is that, is to be brutally honest with yourself. And it's so easy sometimes to forgive other people, but we don't always forgive ourselves. It's quite hard to do that. But to be brutally honest with yourself, because only you, if you're on the call tonight, only you know if you've been giving it all. I mean, all of us know that. Like, your uplines are going to know that. I mean, it's not like, your uplines like, got a crystal ball and they know exactly what you are doing and what you're not doing. But you know it. You know if you are cool. You know if you're on the webinar. You know if you're reading the Psalms. And you can try and, jipper the system. But if you want to jipper the system, then it's who you cheating out of this? Not your upline. You're cheating yourself. I mean, that's the fundamental truth for me, is I realize is that, because I'll be honest with you, sometimes I haven't always listened to the webinar, or I haven't always listened to, read the Tom book because I've read it before and I think, why should I read the book again? But what is that? That's a bad attitude. That's like a mind shift that you have to make, because you can be a platinum and you can think, I don't need to do that. I've done that before. I know that stuff. But if I do that, I give my group permission to do that also. So for me, it's like, tell the truth, but tell the truth to yourself. This is not like telling the truth to your upline. I'm saying be brutally honest with yourself. So that's the first thing, is about doing the right thing. The next thing is edify others. Edify, cross-line leaders if they're doing the opportunity meeting. Don't badmouth people. Keep the main thing the main thing. Don't major in minors. Forget about, don't share negative downline. All these things. I'm not going to do a talk on that today, but it's about edifying others. Why would you edify other people besides just being a good human being? If that's not enough reason, then I don't know. But just do the right thing. If you can't say something nice about someone, don't say it all. Aaron Woodward says, talk all the good you know about behind someone's back. There's no better compliment for someone if you speak behind their back all the good about them. And the last thing is do what you promise. Man, I'll never forget this amazing talk I listened to called Promises to Keep. And I think about it, and very often we've made promises to ourselves, and we set goals, and I think some of the promises that I've made, you don't always keep to all of them, and sometimes you make mistakes, and sometimes you can do things better. But I was thinking about my promises to keep, for me and my family, it's worthwhile. If you've made your kids a promise that you will do this or you will do that, or you don't have to do it for your upline. You can just do it for yourself. I want to keep my promises that I make. If I say I'm going to become a platinum or I'm going to go presidential, I want to keep those promises. And what you need to do is not that hard. You don't have to be a superstar. You don't have to be the best recruiter. You don't have to be the best, know the most people. You don't have to be the best speaker. You don't have to be the best. You don't have to be the massively high IQ. It would help if you had a high EQ. That definitely does help. But for me, it's like the things you have to do for what you can, the difference you can make is, I've just never come across something like that where you can start a business for next to nothing and you can change people's lives for the better. And it doesn't matter where someone comes from, what they do, you know, this business brings so many people from so many different backgrounds under one space. Because why? We all want to, number one, we want to change our lives. And number two, what do we want to do? Is we want to leave people better than what we find them. We want to make a difference in other people's lives. So for me, that's what it's ultimately about. And I think for me, like we're at a tipping point, like in our Mannatech journey, and for me, at least in my journey, where it's like time to step up and not to try and think it's all out there, but just to realize that actually it's all right here, and it's all in me and my thinking, and it's in you and your thinking, and it's in your attitude, and it's in your activity, and it's about, you know, doing the basics extremely well. And that's how we're gonna change thousands and hundreds of thousands of people's lives, is by becoming so good at the basics. And now I'll leave you with an example of this. Now, I'm not sure how many of you watched the Soccer World Cup. I'm not really a big soccer fan, but I did watch some of the games. But it's amazing that one player can't win a competition for someone, can't win a game for someone. If you look at a team sport, it's not about one player. So it's not just about you and your team and what you can do. It's about a whole team working together. And for that whole team to work together, number one, they've all got to know what the game plan is. Like they've all got to be in unity. They've all got to be part of that culture. Now, for me, if you're not part of that culture, then how do you expect for the team to win? It's not my team. It's all of us together. It's your team. It's because you're leading yourself. But we all have to become good at doing the basics, because it's not about playing for yourself. It's about the greater good. Because at the end of the day, our World Cup that we get to hold up is about how many people's lives we left better off. Like that's what we're really playing for. And by default, you get to be part of that, and also get some of the benefits of that. But it has to start with you firstly, you know, completely submitting and being completely part of what we do here. And you know, and that's the culture, creating a winning culture. And you know, we've got a system, we've got a game plan. It's just really about all of us playing to the best of our abilities. And I'm sharing with all of you that you don't have to do, like, we can start creating a culture where if all of us become very good at just doing the basics. It's not the big things that change, that create momentum in your organization. It's the little things. It's the little things that you do. And if we become so good at the little things, like, the big things are going to take care of themselves. You know, just on that, I'm thinking of a story about the New York mayor many years ago, when they wanted to fix the city of New York. This is probably in the 80s or 90s. And, you know, there were big things that they needed to sort out, whether it be crime or whether it be like, sorting out the drug problems, or sorting out whatever it may be. There were loads of other problems that needed to be sorted out. And he literally started focusing on doing the little things that didn't even matter, that you didn't think would make a difference, like picking up litter and, you know, making sure that people don't litter, you know, because by default, those things would create more pride in people in their own city. And by really, and this is just one of the examples, but there were so many little things he did that people think, oh, that wouldn't make such a difference. And by default, by doing those things, everything started taking care of itself. And what are the little things that we got to do? Is number one, be cool, you know, plug into the system, you know, do the full basics. And we can just there's not that many things you have to do, but if you can just do those things really good, the big things are going to take care of themselves. What is the big things? The big things is going to be you becoming a presidential, becoming a gold executive, becoming a bronze, becoming a silver, becoming a gold, becoming a platinum. That's the big things. But those things just don't happen overnight. Those things happen with the little things on a consistent basis. That's how you do that. I didn't just wake up one day and boom, I'm a platinum, or I'm presidential. I mean, I can show you. I mean, I've moved house, but I still got my plaque of becoming a brand new director. Regional director it was called back then, back in 2008. Regional director in today's comp plan, and then eventually executive director, and then gold executive, and then. But I also started with no team, so I know by how did I get from director to platinum presidential and everything in between was just by taking care of the basics, which was getting people to functions, making sure my personal activity was there, doing my opportunity meetings and getting new people there, showing my plans, always trying to at least show every month 15 to 20 plans a month. That's it. It's not like 100 things you got to do. If you can just do 3 or 4 things better this year, like by default, like you are gonna have an amazing year. So I'm gonna close the meeting now. I see we are almost getting onto the hour. But thank you so much. It's been great to share with all of you. And we'll do another call in 2 weeks' time, also on a Tuesday night, obviously, as well. So that'll be in 2 weeks today in 2 weeks' time. And I think what I'll do for that one, we'll go through just getting started and maybe a few pointers on that. So thank you very much, everyone. It's been great to see so many of you attend. We've just over 220, 230 people on the webinar. So well done to all of you that attended. And I obviously have recorded this, so we'll make it available. And yeah, wishing you a good evening and hope you sleep well and a great day tomorrow. Thank you, everyone.